Hello, and welcome to another Millennial Minute. I'm your host, Julia Sun. Today's burning question, literally, is the fashion industry too wasteful? You've already heard from our guest, political strategist Ajay Bruno, and Kat Murti from Feminists for Liberty. Hey, welcome to the show. Look, brands dump or even burn out of season items to keep their brands, I guess, sterling. Should they do it? AJ?
I don't see the point. I mean, maybe it's just something I've never cared that much for, but I think it's very wasteful. It's unnecessary. And it creates sort of a culture where I think people are maybe isolated or excluded, and it kind of divides Americans when you think of it that way. So I really never understood it. I mean, the most I cared about this sort of fashion was maybe my love for Zoolander. But he discovered some things in that showed that it wasn't always cracked up to be. So I would say it's just blown over the top, and it only gets worse. It never seems to mellow down, and I'm just not a fan of the whole situation this creates.
Well, Kat, do you understand why these fashion companies do this? Seems to be a trend.
I actually think that the panic around the waste coming from the fashion industry is what's blown over the top. We're seeing more and more and more brands coming out now that do second wave fashion or recyclable fashion, and they're actually charging more than a lot of the companies that we think of, like Forever 21, that sort of set up this fast fashion model where clothes oftentimes are taken off the shelves quickly, right? And, I can tell you a lot of the clothes in my own wardrobe come from places like Saks Off Fifth, which are those after season items that are still classic and beautiful that I can wear year after year. So the thing is that the reason that happens is because the market is asking for it. But now the market's speaking back and it's saying that it doesn't want waste and it doesn't want items to be thrown out, burnt, etc. And companies are responding.
Yep. Yeah, to be clear, it's not every single fashion brand, it's some of them. Then, AJ, let me ask you this. Should any organizations or even the government impose sanctions or whatever you call it for this kind of wasteful behavior?
Well, I don't think the government should be involved unless it's egregious. I do think we should be cracking down on things like making products in China, because after what they've caused with this whole situation nowadays, we should not be contributing to their economic powerhouse at all. So if we're talking about companies that are exploiting cheap, labor there, then I think that's something the government should possibly get involved in. But in general, we should probably be cautious when it comes to government intervention in private enterprise. So I would say mostly no, but if we're talking about a really exceptional circumstance like that, then there probably is some need for some serious action.
Okay. I do see that consumers in general are being more conscious about where are the materials sourced from. Then in that case, Kat, let me ask you, how else can the fashion industry be more sustainable?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things is, we see these fashion revivals come up over and over again, and perhaps instead of merely just recreating pieces that they'd previously created, this could be a situation where they can remarket the same pieces again to a different audience. I think that there would be there'd be a large audience for that. And I think that it's been proven by the number of companies that are able to be very successful with essentially selling off-market pieces. What people want is something new. They want something fun, but they don't necessarily want whatever that new fun thing is this week. They just want something that's new and fun to them.
AJ, you kept saying that you don't recycle or reuse your change up your wardrobe very often. But let's say you go shopping today and you see something that you like, but it's also made out of, say, plastic bottles. Would you go for something like that, assuming it's the same price as something that's not?
Well, I always recycle, but in terms of clothes, I'm constantly, maybe not so much the past 9 months, but frankly, I got too much stuff. So there's a limit to what I want to do. I don't want to change my whole wardrobe up every season. I think that's excessive. Maybe some people like that. But I don't have a problem with people supporting things like that. But I just feel like this whole culture is wasteful when we're talking about, something a matter of months later is not cool or fashionable anymore, and people are going to just discard it. To me, that seems pointless. Maybe some of this is environmentally friendly. I'm sure a lot is not. but I just never understood the point of it. So maybe that's why I'm not in fashion. But I think it's just a little bit excessive.
Okay, point taken. Thank you both for being here. Great to have you, great discussion. And thank you for watching Millennial Minute. I'm Julia Sun, and I'll see you back here next time.